You've probably seen this hairstyle everywhere. But what's really fascinating isn't just the look, it's the language used to sell it. Today, we are breaking down not just a haircut, but the incredibly confident, assertive voice behind this whole protagonist lifestyle.
Okay, let's just dive right in with this quote. Right off the bat, you can see this isn't about styling tips. It's a whole philosophy. The point isn't just to look good, it's to look like you're the main character. It's what they call the protagonist aesthetic. So that's what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to deconstruct the Seoul-Street layering system. We'll look at the how for sure, but more importantly, we're going to analyze the why, the psychology behind that super confident, commanding voice.
So before a single product even gets opened, the system lays out its entire mission. It even creates its own vocabulary, branding the style as Jayfashion, all built around one single goal, making you the protagonist. And the first term you got to know is structured messiness. Think of it like controlled chaos. The idea is to get this really high-impact, glossy look that feels totally intentional and sculpted, but at the same time gives off this vibe of being effortlessly cool. And check out the framing here. This isn't just about looking different. It's about positioning Jayfashion as this superior mindset. Saying you're leaping over trends, that is a classic power move to sound like an authority and make it feel super exclusive. Now, to sell their solution, they first need a villain, a common enemy. And for this whole look, that enemy is that old-school, heavy hair gel that, let's be honest, is probably sitting in your bathroom cabinet right now.
And here it is. This is the hook. They ask this question, and it's designed to hit you right where you live. I mean, who hasn't tried for that slick, wet look and just ended up looking kind of greasy? It's a problem we all recognize, and now we need a solution.
And this chart lays out their entire technical pitch. See, on the left, you've got the old way, heavy gels that sink in your hair and weigh it down. But on the right, you've got their solution, this texture shield that supposedly wraps around each strand for a clean, non-sticky shine. All right, now we're getting into the actual technique. And you really have to pay attention to the words here. These aren't just steps or tips. No, they are framed as 3 unbreakable laws. It's a really clever branding move to make the whole thing feel official, almost scientific. You have the moisture foundation, friction activation, and the cool lock seal. I mean, listen to those names. They sound so technical, right? It's how they take what could be a messy process and turn it into 3 memorable proprietary rules. So the first law is all about being precise. We're not talking a little damp here. The system demands exactly 20% moisture. Using a number this specific is key to building up that authoritative tone, making it all sound very calculated. And the instructions are so specific they're actually testable. Too wet, the product won't stick. Too dry, it gets all clumpy. The test is in the feel. Your hair should be cool, but your hands should come away dry. They literally call this the law of the Seoul-Street system. Stop. Check your palms. Wow. The second law, friction activation, starts with a direct order. It's a classic pattern interrupt. It makes you pause what you're doing, and it frames this next step as something absolutely urgent and crucial. And the last piece of the puzzle, the thing that makes it all last, is the third law, the cool lock, which really is just a fancy name for hitting your hair with a blow dryer on the cool setting. But by giving it this unique, branded name, it sounds way more professional, like a secret technique. Okay, so once you've followed all the laws and your foundation is perfect, the system shifts gears. We're moving from the science to the art. This is where you actually start sculpting that structured messiness look. And this is where that whole aesthetic really comes to life. It's all about this simple pinching motion with your fingertips. The whole point is to create those sharp, piecey ends. That's what gives you that gravity-defying, almost anime protagonist kind of look that normal gel just can't pull off. But really, this system is selling more than just a styling product. It's selling a whole philosophy. So let's zoom out and look at the big idea here, which is all about getting a super high-impact style, but with absolutely zero commitment. In this timeline, this captures the entire sales pitch in a nutshell. It's brilliant. Styling isn't a chore anymore, it's a temporary accessory. You get to have that main character energy for one night, and then in literally 1 minute, you wash it all away and reset. And it all comes down to this one bold statement. By calling it the future of hair fashion, a future with no rules and no damage, they're trying to elevate a hair product into a whole cultural movement. So when you boil it all down, this is about way more than just hair. It's a pitch for something you could call disposable style. The idea that you can put on this bold identity for a little while and then just wash it off.
Which leaves us with a big question. Is this kind of temporary, no-consequence identity the future of how we express ourselves? What do you think?